Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and all the Wailing Barons cards have been revealed. Everything's out, and I am not reviewing them in this video because there is something that actually got released. There was some patch notes coming with the Wailing Barons release. The thing is, they include a couple of nerfs. There are some nerfs and another buff going live with the mini set. It's not just the cards. So I will review all the cards tomorrow morning, our usual upload time. So stay tuned for that. But I thought we'd go over some pretty significant nerfs and also something pretty historic. Like, I can't believe this actually happened, that they're basically admitting they messed up. And well, let's get into it. There are two very significant nerfs, both to Paladin. You'll be very happy about this. For a lot of people will be very happy about this. Two Paladin nerfs. And the first one being first day of school. Wasn't it just nerfed? Yes, it was. It went from 0 to 1 mana, and it added 3 random cost minions to your hand, which I said at the time didn't seem like much of a nerf. Like, it slows the deck down a bit, but that's insane value. 1-drops are insane. And yeah, the win rate on the card, if anything's gone up. It's helped out every other archetype, whether it's being wild and hand buff Paladin or in standard with like Libram Paladin, the N'Zoth Paladin. It's absurd. It's 1 mana, effectively draw 3. Not quite, but really the value is just insane. And now they are nerfing it again, less than like a month later, to be what it should have been in the first place. 2 random 1-cost minions to your hand. So now we have effectively gone from 0 to 1 mana, with the only change now being the 2, like the mana cost. It's now 2 random, and it's still a good card. We've seen how ridiculous 3 1-cost cards are. The funny thing is, this getting nerfed again, it'll still see play in probably a good amount of Paladin decks. It's still a good amount of value. 1-drops are pretty good. When we talk about the mini set, there's some 1-drops there you might want to get to as well. Like, the 1-drop pool is just crazy. And even at only 2 random 1-cost minions instead of 3, this card's still good, and I'm glad that they basically admitted they messed up. They messed up with this nerf. They should have done it the right way in the first place. They tried a little sidestep, and you know, at least they admitted it. It's kind of reminiscent of Twin Slice, but instead of fixing that one or correcting it or whatever, they just, you know, took it out of standard, and it's no longer in standard. It's not part of the core set. So that's the first Paladin nerf, and I welcome it because Paladin is just ridiculous at the moment and definitely needs to be scaled back. And if you could tell by the power level of most of these the mini set cards, probably weren't going to dial Paladin back a lot. And yeah, the other nerf again is to Paladin, to Hand of a Doll, another one of these cards that's just egregious power creep. It's just like one of the most powerful cards, period. 2 mana, you know, give +2/+2. It will now give +2/+1. So you're getting a, you know, the same amount of attack, but a little less health. It makes the mini more fragile, less value trading. Like on your Knight of Anointment, right? You hit it, you go to a 3/3, and it'll like kill a 2/3. It'll kill most, you know, 1 or 2 drops and get that value trade. And now that's a lot less likely to happen. You play your Knight of Anointment, you Hand of a Doll, there's a good chance it will die. Heck, it just dies to any like Augmented card or any 2-attack minion. So that's a significant deal. It's still an incredibly powerful card. It still provides a buff. It still draws a card. It still cycles. It's still a holy spell. So like I said, Knight of Anointment has insane synergies. And yeah, this card has been just incredibly good. The only thing that held it back during its initial release, I believe I gave this 5 stars when it came out. It's definitely a 5-star card. But the only thing that held it back, why it wasn't as insane, was the 1-drop pull wasn't fantastic. But now you have Knight of Anointment. You have first day of school. You have you have Aldor Attendant. You have all these good 1-drops that Hand of a Doll always hit a target, and now, well, at least that target is more likely to die, but still incredibly powerful. We'll still probably see play in like every Paladin deck ever, because why wouldn't it, unless it's an odd deck? Baku decks don't like even cards. It's weird, but that's a fact. But yeah, this is another significant dial back to Paladin. I would have loved to see Conviction get nerfed. I still think Conviction is absolutely absurd. 1 mana deal 6 is not okay in my books. And as long as Paladin has like this absurd early game, which it still for the most part will, Conviction is just an absurd, basically 1 mana fireball anytime they have multiple minions on board. And I'm still not okay with that. I still think Conviction should get it, but at least first day of school and Hand of a Doll both get nerfed. And yes, there is a buff. There is a buff as well, kind of, to Unbound Elemental again. It says whenever you play a card with Overload, gain +1/+1. And now it says when you play a card with Overload, gain +1/+1. I believe this is done to activate cards that basically are like conditional overload. You have like guidance, and I think you have like the treant totem thing going on where you can choose overload, and that wouldn't activate Unbound Elemental. It wouldn't activate that. So I believe that with this change, after you play the card and it triggers the overload, it should buff the Unbound Elemental, whereas before it didn't. Does this make Overload Shaman the absolute giga nuts? Yeah, probably not, unless there's stuff that we'll talk about in the mini set to help put it over. But it's a nice change, because I got triggered by, I remember I drafted this in Arena and I picked Guidance. I'm like, oh, I'll just pick the Overload option to buff my guy. But I think that was a Thunderhead at the time, which I guess will still get screwed over by this. But yeah, it'll buff that up. So yeah, there are a couple of nerfs and one buff going live. There's also some Battlegrounds changes. They're adding a couple new heroes here, Mutinous and Guff. I'll just refer you as always to It's Ben 321 and Nicolina. They're both great Battlegrounds YouTube content creators. They'll cover you on the stuff. I think there's like a new demon being added as well. But yeah, that's basically covered. There'll be an arena rotation, so heads up if you want to get your arena ticket. Basically, before the mini set comes out, get a run to 2 losses. I have one here, you can see here. And once the new mini set comes out, you'll get the rewards for it, as well as a replacement ticket. So basically a free arena. So you might as well do an arena now and just don't finish it. Get to 2 losses, don't finish it, and they're going to be updating it. It'll have the arena will have the mini set in it, Forge the Barons, Dark Moon Races mini set, Madness of the Dark Moon Fair, Skullmance, Ashes of Outland, Kobolds and Catacombs will be in there, as well as Goblins versus Gnomes. So they're taking out, I believe we've been seeing Rise of Shadows and Mean Streets in there. So we're getting Kobolds and Goblins versus Gnomes, and I'll definitely be playing some Arena on stream in the next like week or so to try out the new stuff. They're also adding returning card backs and more hero skins and card backs than ever. Basically, with the new patch, there'll be 11 hero skins available. Finally, they're basically setting up a shop where you can permanently buy new heroes, which I think is great. So Magni will be there. So Magni is leaving the shop, but he's coming right back. Illyria, Medivh, Kagdar, Sylvanas, Lyshen, the Thunder King, Dame Hazelbark, Maiev, Morgul, Lunara, Insert, and Noyotron. And all of the ones that you see with an asterisk here, they'll also come with their associated card backs. So nice to see the shop being updated. There'll be card backs to get, more hero skins to get. It's all really cool stuff. And there'll also be a new Book of Mercenaries going live. Apparently with the patch, we're going to see Zyrella, the priest mercenary, going live. We're gonna be able to play through that solo venture content, get a priest pack. There's usually achievements with that. Guff will also have his own little story that'll be on June 15th. You'll be able to play through that as well. And then on June 22nd, the Book of Heroes for Malfurion will go live. So lots of content coming up. This patch kind of slipping. I wanted to make sure it doesn't slip through the cracks, that you guys are notified on all the stuff, because there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. And they noted a bunch of bug fixes as well. Doesn't look like anything too major there. I'll link the patch notes in the description below, but I will check to see if that they've updated whether you can share decks. There's a friendly share decks feature that's been down for almost 2 months, which is really stupid, and something that, you know, a lot of free-to-play players would like to be able to share decks to try out new stuff, and they've been really silent about this. So we'll have to take a look if that will actually get fixed, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna bitch about it, because I don't think that's right. And they take, you know, they'll fix a bug that gives us more XP within a day, but they'll take 2 months not to fix a bug that helps out free-to-play players. I don't like that, so we'll see what happens when this is updated. But overall, lots of cool stuff coming, and again, tomorrow we'll go over all the new mini set cards and all that stuff, and should be a lot of fun. And then the mini set will come out, and we'll start talking about all the stuff that comes with that, whether something's broken or not good enough or whatever. Always fun discussions to have. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.